Welcome to the Tyson Talk podcast. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about what inspired me to start YouTube, as well as some other topics, so make sure to stick around to the very end. Alright everyone, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to listen. Before we get started, I just want to throw out a little disclaimer that I am getting over a cold. So if my voice sounds a little bit strange today, that is why. So first we're going to be talking about what inspired me to start YouTube. And I thought that this would be kind of a cool story to tell, but I never got around to telling it. So I just thought, hey, I'll tell it on my podcast. So this story time takes place last year in the spring. I think it was, last year spring, when news of the pandemic started to go around. And up until 2020, I was working really hard on baseball because my Little League park was scheduled to host the Canadian Championships. So if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much the step before the Little League World Series, which is like the grand stage, the biggest event for Little League. So if we won the Canadians, we would go to the Little League World Series. And since our park was hosting the Canadians, that meant that we had an automatic bye into the Canadians. So I was really looking forward to this. This is supposed to take place in 2020. I'd been dreaming about this for like 3 years prior and working really hard. So news of the pandemic comes out and school gets shut down, and unfortunately that led to baseball getting shut down as well. So that left me with not much to do, to be honest. I was playing some video games, but I was really a bored kid. And I was thinking about stuff I could do, and I just thought, hey, kind of always wanted to be a YouTuber. Never really put in the time, but now I got really nothing but time, so why don't I just start this channel, post a couple videos, and see what happens. So that is exactly what I did. I filmed, edited, and posted my first video, which took so long to edit, and you guys can go back and watch it. It is probably the crappiest video on my channel. And also, if you're listening to this podcast just on Spotify and you never heard of me before, the channel I'm talking about is called Tyson Hockley, TysonHockley on YouTube. So, if you want to go subscribe, there's a little promotion there for my channel. But anyways, so I edited this video, and it took me so long to edit, and now watching it back, it looks like it would take 5 seconds to edit, but that's just because my editing has got so much better. So I posted, my first couple videos, had, 40 subscribers. So that's kind of how my YouTube channel started. It took me a very long time, though, to get to where I am today, with almost 2,400 subscribers, which still isn't that big. But compared to where I was about a year ago, it is pretty crazy growth, I would say, in my opinion. But that's kind of what inspired me to start YouTube. I'm not really sure if there's much else that I could tell to kind of stretch out the story, but to anybody who was curious on why I even started my channel in the first place, that's kind of why. And looking back, though, I didn't just do it for fun, because if I was just doing it for fun, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it for a whole year, getting minimal views. So there was a passion behind it too. To stick with anything for a whole year with little to no results, there has to be some sort of passion. So it wasn't just a spontaneous idea. I have been wanting to be a YouTuber for a long time. So I just use this as my opportunity. But yeah, that's kind of what inspired me to become a YouTuber, is the pandemic. So I guess you could say I made the best out of a bad situation. With baseball getting canceled, school getting canceled, pretty bad situation. But I found a way to make the best out of this bad situation by starting my channel. So I guess you could say that. But that's pretty much it for this story of how, or what inspired me to start YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this little story. And let's get on to the next segment of the podcast. I just wanted to throw in a quick reminder to subscribe to the Tyson Talk podcast on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, great, just hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on another platform, I ask you to head over to YouTube and search for the Tyson Talk podcast and just hit that subscribe button for, of course, full-length episodes and clips. We're nearing 100 subscribers on that channel, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, and I just wanted to spread some awareness about the first ever YouTube album. Just like any musician would make an album of a bunch of music, I am making an album of a bunch of videos. This is the first time that's ever been done ever on YouTube. So October 14th on my channel, Tyson Hockley, that's Tyson Hockley, TysonHockley, I will be dropping the first ever YouTube album. 5 episodes at 11, 5 episodes at 12. You won't want to miss it. Make sure to subscribe to Tyson Hockley so that you catch it. Just want to throw that in this podcast and spread a little bit of awareness about that. Shout out to everybody who's still watching. If you made it this far, big congrats to you and a big thank you. I think I'm going to end it here. Just an apology that the audio doesn't sound great. I've been listening to the podcast back so far and it sounds pretty bad. I should be getting a mic soon, a proper mic. So my voice will actually sound bearable. So just bear with me till then. But this is the end of the podcast. Thank you to everybody for listening. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've said it much before. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, the Tyson Talk podcast. And if you're listening on Spotify, just hit the follow button and subscribe or follow whatever platform you're listening on. And have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.